Hello and welcome to Topson. My name is William Lebowski. Today we are in Japan over at Suzuka, and this was this race was not so fun, and it really changed the way that I'm going to race the rest of the season. But right off to the bat, I think you can tell that we're racing in a way that isn't necessarily indicative of a way that you want to race for a 3-hour race, particularly at the beginning of this race. And really what I was drawing on was my 1-hour Suzuka race, which I have a lot of 1-hour Suzuka race, mostly in ACC. And what I remember from those races is that most of the work is done in the first 5 laps, and from at that point on, gaps just kind of grow. So I wanted to be like, oh, I've got some inside knowledge, some inside experience that I'm going to take advantage of, and work to my advantage over the rest of this field here, especially since I wasn't able to finish my qualifying. And so I thought, this is going to be a big opportunity for me, and I think I kind of overblew it, overplayed my hand, and didn't drive the way that I needed to. There was a bit of a skill issue. I wrote checks that my butt couldn't cash, kind of so to say. But that being said, I also was frustrated with, again, some driver issues, some driving standard issues, but needless to say, this race made me change how I'm going to approach the finality of my season. Before, we were just going to go 100% of the VRS Endurance Series, but I've decided I need to put a little bit more of a fun approach on this, and really only do the races that I'm enjoying doing, and then fill those gaps with other things that are going to be fun, because this is just a hobby. It is just for fun, and if I'm just stressing over this or just trying to do it for these videos, that's completely pointless. So I'm looking forward for the rest of next week. In this week, so to say, depending on how you're viewing this, we have some Alton Park racing happening. That's going to be most likely done in the GT3 Challenge. So I'm looking at some 20-minute sprint races as opposed to the VRS Sprint Series, which are 40-minute races. I do not like Alton Park, and so I think I want to minimize my time there, but I just want to get some racing in the GT3 that week, and I think that's going to be the place to do it. Next week, we are looking at our regular endurance race and the VRS Endurance Series, which would be Road Atlanta. And the week after that, we're looking at a week of Nordschleife, Nurburgring, Porsche Cup racing. And that's going to be an entire week of fun, and you'll see my best race or the most fun race from there. And then from there, we have Bathurst and Coda and the VRS Endurance Series. So that's what we're looking at for the remainder of up until March. I just went through the calendar and made sure all of my dates are lining up and all that. And so I think that that's going to be a lot of fun, and I think that that is going to be a nice bit of a... It's hard to call that a challenge, but I think it's a nice mix of endurance and sprint racing and just fun stuff and a little bit of technical stuff, all of the above. I think it'll be a nice month of sim racing. I think that is a lot to do, but also at the same time, it's going to be nice to be able to... It'll be focusable, I think, as well. I'm really looking forward to the finale of the VRS series at Bathurst. I think that is going to be a very big test. I think it's going to be a perfect place to put all these skills that we've been talking about together. Hold on, I got to take a drink here. Sorry, throat was just getting super tight there. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity at Bathurst to learn all these patience and still aggressiveness that will be necessary for success on the mountain. And of course, Coda being in America is cool. Look at this awful rejoin we're going to have here. And this is where everything goes downhill. So it looks really innocuous. It really looks like nothing, but as you can see on the screen, we got some wheel damage from that. And fast forwarding, I was really trying to figure out how much of an impact that had, and I was really assuming nothing, but here I go into turn 1, and coming out of it, car just did not behave like normal. We completely lost it, and at that point, I'm realizing that I'm going to have an extra pit stop here because my car is not going to make it at the speeds that are required for this race in order to have fun with its competitive nature, and I'm really kind of huffing and puffing about that. I'm thinking about that a little bit, if there's any way around it. I'm not focusing on what I need to do, and boom, I run into a car that's right ahead of me, stopped on track, and that really is the end of my race at that point. So that's what we've got going forward. That was our disappointing realization that we needed to make from this week. So on to better things next week.